Hello, Scorpio. This is your tarot reading. It's a special Valentine's Day reading. I know we're halfway through February, so just consider this reading a little insight on anything that might be happening on Valentine's Day and the following weeks, 6 to 8 weeks after. I know I've been away for a while. So, let's go ahead and get started. 3 cards for the past, 3 for the present, 3 for the future, and of course 1 more card for the outcome. So the first card I have is a Queen of Pentacles. Remember, you're a water sign, so you'll see cups representing water. And here we go, 10 of Cups. And then the Fool. Okay, so this is the past. I have an 8 of Wands. I have the Moon. And this is actually, believe it or not, the Moon is actually associated a little bit with Scorpio. I have Karma, so you're getting some really strong major arcana cards here with Karma, the Fool, and the Moon. I have a 6 of Wands, the card of victory. This is a Knight of Swords. And then I have a 2 of Cups. How interesting. I'll put 1 more card here for the outcome after the main reading. So let's look at what's going on first with your major arcana. Well, the first thing I've noticed is that you do have the Fool. You have 3, the Fool, the Moon, and Karma. Now, the Moon and Karma, you'll notice, literally, there's the Moon. We have a crescent moon here and a full moon here. The moon phases are very, very important here because the crescent moon is not complete. It's sort of hiding a little bit, okay? It's eclipsed a little bit, right? But when we get here to Karma, the moon is fully hidden. There's a full eclipse going on here. And that is very meaningful. The moon represents the energies of your subconscious. And so what we see here in the center, and the center card is important because it gives me insight about the root issue. Again, the moon is associated with Scorpio. So I think it's interesting that your significators here. So we're looking out for, we're kind of listening to our intuition. We feel that we're in danger. And it's also, the moon is also about listening to your subconscious, not repressing anything. It's about things coming to the surface that you've been trying to hide from yourself, trying to avoid. And so when we get here, okay, full eclipse, Karma is about decisions, how the decisions that you make today will have a big effect, and it could be a tiny decision, you know, like moving to a new apartment. Well, moving is a very big decision, but let's say canceling appointments, you know, changing your lifestyle, little tiny things that have a big effect later. Now, the subconscious energy here, it's interesting that you have the Fool in the past, because this is telling me a little bit about an action or decision that led you to this moon and this Karma. The Fool is about following your bliss. Take note, there's a wand in his hand, and so the wand is about intentions, joy. It's about creativity and inspiration. And so this is about breaking away, shrugging off responsibilities, being free. And so someone might have made a decision, maybe not you, but your partner or love interest. Keep in mind, this Fool follows the Ten of Cups, which is about happiness, happy marriage, happy family, emotional contentment. You have the housewife, the Queen of Pentacles here. So just looking at this little triad of major arcana cards, I'm getting a sense of someone breaking away from a commitment. And maybe Scorpio, because you are water, because you are intuitive, you have some more cups showing up here, that maybe you kind of feel, out of sorts here. Okay. So the water energy is very important because I'm seeing a lot of love and commitment here. You do have a Ten of Cups in your past, and that can symbolize a marriage. It can symbolize emotional ecstasy and euphoria. And it's the card of happily ever after as far as relationship readings. That's what the Ten of Cups is about. And it seems to be cemented by this Two of Cups, which is symbolic of marriage. And when I first started learning tarot and studying with other witches, one witch told me that when you do see a Ten of Cups with a Two of Cups, it could potentially mean a soulmate connection, which is interesting. And so, yes, very, very interesting with your Cups energy and this moon here. Being afraid maybe of a new transition, this big decision with karma, your destiny. And so a lot of intensity here. So when we look at the future, remember what I said. The Queen of Pentacles, very practical. This is Pentacles. It represents the material world. And the Queen of Pentacles, also represents the housewife. Okay? So I get a sense of some type of long-term committed relationship, and then maybe a partner got a little skittish here and, had to break away. I think it's interesting that he has a wand in his hand, and then here you have this Eight of Wands, which is long-distance communication, things happening quickly, something sudden happening. And again, maybe this is why you might feel a little skittish. Maybe there is a committed relationship and you're the one who's scared. But this long distance, I feel like there is a physical distance here. And also these 8 wands, they are also called the arrows of love. So you see these little budding lilies, not lilies, but you see these little budding flowers here that are growing on the wands, as if to say there's a new beginning, there's a birth here. So this is a very positive thing here, and maybe for some reason, if you'll excuse the helicopter, I am in LA. Hold on a second. Okay. So I apologize for that. But this Eight of Wands is pretty interesting because, yes, it can mean things happening very quickly. And so I kind of feel that maybe your partner had to make a sudden departure for some reason. And also, whenever we see, mountains, there are no people in this card. This is the only card where there aren't any people. And so this is about success, possibilities, new possibilities, and a happy ending, that there's going to be something exciting happening that you've been probably waiting for. So if you've been waiting for communication from someone, if you've been worried about communication, this is a card that says it's going to happen sooner than you think. And the card is also about movement and manifestation. Okay? So let's say that maybe your partner did go away. And maybe it was because of a job. Maybe because they needed maybe because they needed emotional space. This kind of means that everything is going to turn out okay. But again, the central issue seems to be about your subconscious repressing things and being afraid. And so you can't be afraid here, but you should also, you see the wand in her hand, and that wand has fire, and the fire illuminates, it helps her see. And so it's important for you, Scorpio, not to suppress anything. Be cautious, but not too impulsive. And then we have karma, that big shift, that big change that you weren't necessarily expecting. So that's how I'm kind of seeing this little triad of cards here. Okay? So when we get here to the future, the energy of the wands continues. This is the card of victory. Okay, and so Six of Wands, it's about conquering, achievement. So these wands are really hoping they're really saying a lot about what's going on in this relationship, that there are good things happening under the surface. They might not be apparent now, but there are a lot of good things happening under the surface. When we have this Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords, Knights are always about action too. So we're getting a lot of movement, some of it not so obvious, but the Knight of Swords is about not having fear. Going boldly without hesitation. You can see his horse. There's a lot of movement in the horse, and horses are very important because horses are about powerful movement. They're definitely about action. And so I feel that this good news, that whatever's happening, that's coming your way, that's good, it's going to be decisive. And it's about intelligence. Again, it's also about excitement. So it seems like everything that's happening here is about movement and getting past your hesitations and embracing the good things, okay? But definitely change, and definitely a resolution of what you thought might have been a negative situation. So by the time we get to that Two of Swords, yes, this emotional breakthrough for you, that all of the trials and tribulations that you and your partner have been going through are going to come to an end, a successful end, and there's going to be a very happy future ahead. So let me go ahead and shuffle for the outcome card. Okay. We have a Six of Cups. More water. And this is significant because this is a card of sentimental memories. In a relationship reading, yes, a lot of people love to see this card because it means an ex-partner comes back, and in some cases it can mean someone is missing. And I think this falls in line with what I just said a minute ago, that there are things happening beneath the surface that I don't think you realize. Hope is not lost, and there are very positive things that are coming your way that are going to be sort of a bit of a surprise and that you're not expecting. And it can definitely mean, for some of you, that ex-partner. Okay? So that was my reading. I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but I'm having a very extended special. My 15-minute phone readings, which are usually $20, are now going to be $10. And I'll have this special throughout February and March up until the beginning of spring. So I hope I get to meet some new people, and I hope I get to reconnect with my old clients and friends. Thank you guys so much for your concern. I appreciate it. I will see you next month. I'll be around. And as always, I wish you love and light, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day.